Okay, and welcome to Blue Girls Video Podcast. I put my there's going to be a couple of dreams from July 2019. I put my camera on pause and didn't unpause it. So anyway, I'm going to be doing Resembles, Alicia, Vikander, and Basketball from July of 2019. Okay, and then I'm going to go to August 2019. I had a dream of a woman who physically reminds me of my former therapist. Many years ago, she seemed to be standing at the counter where clients would check in for their appointment. Then oddly again, I had a dream of one of my nieces beginning with the letter C. She looks younger and alone. Cannot remember much more of a dream. Besides my niece looking a lot like my brother, I have never really seen anyone else that looks like her in my lifetime. The only person that I even comes close to looking like my niece would be Alicia Vikander. On June 27th, I found out my niece went to a trip. Whatever, you don't really need to know that. Okay, so my brother, one of my brothers doesn't look like anybody in the family. And so there was a rumor that he was by a different father, but then he found out that he wasn't, right? So like many years later, we found out he looks more like my father's brother, but he's like a full brother. So anyway, and I guess Alicia Vikander, she's Swedish, and she's from northern Sweden. And so, Sweden, of course, you think of blonde hair, blue eyes, but they have dark brown eyes and brown hair and olive skin. And that's kind of what both my brother and his a couple of his kids look like. They look like him. So anyway, so the next dream is basketball. Well, this is a first. I dream about basketball. Behind a fairly large school is a lawn and some basketball courts. I think it may be on the weekend because I really don't see many people around the school. Then a young man is walking towards the basketball courts and sits down on a picnic bench to watch an ethnic young woman in his early 20s teaching a little girl with long wavy hair, dirty blonde hair, to play basketball. It might possibly be one of his friends. I can see his point of view as he is walking to the basketball court. An overweight woman with frizzy, bushy hair is doing her job and dumping in the garbage can. At the bottom of the garbage can is a plastic credit card without a name or number, like a credit card offer, and there also is fake money bill. Also, and this has nothing to do with the basketball game, but there are 5x7 pictures with cardboard backings of young women in their early 20s. It reminds me of photos that one would see on a television news channel. So this is like the only dream that I can think of basketball, just like a fireman. I think there's only one of those. And I vaguely remember this dream. It was like on a weekend. And so I guess at the school you can go there and play basketball on the weekend. And so some custodian, it was a woman, was like dumping the garbage cans, and that's what she found at the bottom of one. And so anyway, that's that dream. Now we're going to go to August 2019. Trip for winter. Okay, no, I screwed up again. I don't want that one. I want... No, I do want that one. Alrighty. I don't know what is with me today. I've got all kinds of things going on. Okay, this young woman is walking up some stairs to go to college library. She sees an older woman with white hair sitting at one of the tables, white hair, as well as an older guy sitting at another table. In between the library's bookshelf, she is talking to a guy with long hair, maybe an acquaintance or a friend. I guess her youngest brother came out from Virginia for about a week, and she seems to have lost his email information and wanted to ask her oldest brother if he had it. Also, I see this young woman getting some of her items to bring with her as she either is sleeping on top of a bunk bed or cabin. There seems to be a set of cabins with other people living in them. She missed one of her flights and wanted to get a round trip to visit someplace warm for the winter, possibly Florida or somewhere else. And so TV and books is the next. All I remember of this dream is that two people are sitting on a couch and they are watching a very large TV in front of them. It's kind of odd because the TV is directly in front of them and not further away. They also have a remote control in their hands. I don't know, I was feeling kind of odd, weird today. Weird late at night on July 29th, 2019. Late morning, I felt that I was under attack. As my youngest brother would say, and he's anointed so he can hear from God. Anyway, but I don't know why I began to feel really defiant and saying to myself that I can do whatever the F I please. I'm usually pretty laid back. Books is the next one. I have a very exciting dream. All I saw was several groceries full of books. Tomorrow is a book sale at some library. Yeah, so when I lived in the Pacific Northwest, they are really gung-ho about like reading and have like several used bookstores, but the library would have like books for sale. I meant good condition books, popular books. So I signed up for Goodreads many years ago, and I've read, I don't even know how many books, 250. I read read 100 books before you die. I did that. So anyway, that's the dream. Diane. All I remember is two women talking on the phone. One of them may have been me, not sure. The name Diane was mentioned twice. Then when I looked on the Yahoo homepage, trending now was Diane. I don't know who that is. Update, I received a piece of mail from Diana. Close enough. Anyway, it was mailed on August 17, 2019. Was to update information. Oh my God. So, this is really bizarre. Well, it's not really bizarre, but so, I just had an incident with a woman named Diane. I know this is what this is about. It's with housing. And so, the Pacific Northwest, right? And so I'm thinking, I had a conversation with a woman named Diana, right? And I've been trying to get into this housing place for 7 years, right? And I just talked to her, and I told her that I moved, whatever, sometime or whatever, and they mailed out an update, and I just moved into my apartment the next day in a different location, so they didn't have my information. So that's what August 17, 2018 was, to update information. So anyway, she's sending me another form, and I'm not going to fill it out because I swear it's been like 7 or 8 years. I think I was dropped from the list once before. But, I meant that's just how it goes. I'm just not going to do it again. I've been trying for 7 years. So the next dream is pennies. I have been sleeping on and off today. I woke up earlier this morning with not much sleep, but wanted to get some coffee. So I went to a store close by and picked some Peruvian coffee. Then I fell back asleep and awoke thinking, I got to get the hell out of here. And another time, worried about my finances. I tend to think these things when I get bored or fed up. Anyway, here are the dreams. I try to remember them, but had a hard time. I remember this boy with short blonde hair and blonde eyes being outside. It kind of reminds me of this boy who comes to visit his grandmother in the building. Oh, okay, I know who that is. Fell back asleep. I forgot most of it. Then a woman is at a thrift store that seems to have a basement. She is looking at purses and finds pennies in one of them, like someone stored them in purse and forgot about it. I also see a small vest, 80s jacket for a kid, and a table for brochures. Okay, so the next one is modes of transportation. Two cities come to mind, Sea Rapids and Coos Bay. I was at some guy's house and went back to stay at my friend's place beginning with the letter A. For some reason, his girlfriend wasn't living with him anymore or not there at the time. There seemed to be two different modes of transportation that I was taking, possibly at two different areas of the United States. One form of transportation was an express bus that I would have to take to Coon Rapids. I would have to first take a bus to MSP and then transfer. There was not a direct bus, but going to Coon Rapids. I remember the female bus driver letting me off the bus and then waiting for another bus. Then the scenery changed. I was at a subway station with other people around waiting. Most of them were African American. The subway vehicle reminds me of a roller coaster ride because the door opened on the side. I was standing at a counter with an African American man dressed up in formal attire. There was a form in front of me that I could not see because I was blind. Oh, God. Another woman was helping me, and I had no choice but to write out a check for $50 for someone named Shelley. I did not know how to spell her name. I guess I had to write the check prior to entering the subway. The subway would usually cost a couple of bucks to ride, but I guess this subway included a formal dinner. The express bus area looked familiar. However, the subway area did not at all. I don't remember this dream at all. Okay, so the next dream for August 2019 is upscale store. A young woman is trying on different colored, frilly, matching top and bottom outfits. Someone seems to be assisting her, and at first she is trying on a white outfit and then a blue one. It seems to be an upscale restore. I'm thinking of New York. As she's paying for her items at the cash register, she is thinking that the young woman wouldn't find her good looking enough. Another woman seems to be walking around the store trying to get people to sign up for something, possibly a credit card, but she seems to think that everyone in the store has plenty of money. I also see her friend beginning with the letter M in a different store lying down on one of the beds. Oh, also something else kind of weird. Last month I got out of bed and the fire alarm went off, so they replaced the battery. Then it happened again last night. Both times were 2 a.m. in the morning. Well, at least it isn't 3 a.m. the witching hour. Okay, so meeting is the next one. I briefly woke up from this dream because I was tossing and turning from a nightmare. I was supposed to meet with high school friend beginning with the letter J and her husband and possibly some of their friends at a restaurant, but see myself eating alone at a booth. So maybe we were supposed to meet later. I recall looking over at some booths where the customers just left. I went inside a small bathroom or room, and a woman who worked at the restaurant was there, as well as an off-duty police officer who wasn't wearing his uniform. They weren't using the bathroom. It seemed a situation had come up or something. Then I went to the counter to pay my bill with the same women. However, it wasn't a regular restaurant bill, but a yellow copy of something. The restaurant reminded me of my current area location, at least the same Midwest state. However, when I walked outside the restaurant, it reminded me of an area in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle to be exact. It seemed to be the fall because I noticed the leaves color a little lighter on the trees. As I am walking down the street, I noticed a couple of young guys waiting at the bus shelter to catch a bus. Thinking I have some time, I am walking down the street to find a bathroom. I must not have used the restaurant bathroom because of the situation there. I was trying to hurry so I wouldn't miss the bus and meet my friends. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so the next dream is assorted candy. A woman is hanging out with a guy who looks like my former male friend, but younger and looks Greek, although his DNA is half Irish. Yeah, so a former friend of mine, he's half Irish, but if you look at him, he looks Greek. So I think he might be half Greek. I just know that he's at least half Irish. That's what he told me. They went to a store and was going to get his bag of candy that was overpriced. They were going to split the cost, but this former friend was cheap, didn't want to pay half the price. I guess a Greek-looking guy showed her a smaller bag of candy, which the woman purchased at the counter. She ended up still paying the same amount, about $20 in different denominations bills, and the Greek guy paid $5. When the woman opened the candy bag, she was disappointed because there really wasn't much candy. I recall seeing some pretzels. It reminded me of how bags of chips have about 3/4 full and the rest air. This assortment of candy bag had only 1/4 of candy and 3/4 full of air. They returned to this apartment and they were sitting on this floor and not on the furniture. She wanted to tell her friend something and was feeling a little emotional. I don't remember if she told him or not. I just remember her Greek friend being more concerned about some older, possibly foreign lady and not her. This bothered the woman because whatever happened to her and not this foreign lady. She also lost a tooth. Okay, I don't remember that one. As I was trying to sleep, I saw a vision and was outside and looking down on the short statue of a woman with neon lighting of different colors. She had a long wavy hair and physical features of her eyes and nose. I found this neon light app that that I didn't even know existed. I don't know why I had this vision. After this vision of a back door. Well, this is weird. This took place in August, right? August of 2019. So Neon or whatever, they have the Neon Museum in Las Vegas. That's the name of it. Okay, so the next dream is going to be, where is it? I think it's called White Trash. White Trash. White Trash. This young woman was at this couple's place. The female woman was her friend. The couple had a toddler, a boy with blonde hair. She seemed to be upset with the woman because she didn't even get a thank you for watching her toddler. And then she told them, hey, I paid my rent. Took a long nap. There were these two young women living at two different areas with a bunch of their young children. One of them had an idea for them to change a date to an earlier date for some reason. I guess they were both on the lookout of a dog being released into their bedroom or someone else attacking them. I remember seeing two dogs outside on a sidewalk. Also, there seems to be a guy with short brown hair around them, possibly a friend. In real life, I have been wanting to adopt a dog, so this may be why I had dreams about dogs. The local shelter has just a handful of dogs, and once in a while they have a smaller dog. My friend has a Yorkie service dog who has a complete joy for him. Thought I would do well with a Maltese. I kind of prefer a small dog because I usually live in an apartment. Okay, yeah, so this is August 2019, and I still off and on want a dog. I mean, I've had cats before, but I would like to get a service dog. But the reason why I want like a small dog, I mean, as long, you can get a companion dog. I don't know if you have to have a doctor's note for that, but a service dog, he can be any size, but still, to have like a larger dog in an apartment, I'd rather have the dog I'd rather have a smaller dog. So, because a larger dog, I think, would be best with a yard. Unless, of course, if I live right next door to a park and it's warmer weather, then that's a different story. And recently in real life, it's February 2023. I've been seeing like pictures of, not pictures, but like dogs right in front of me, and they're large dogs or medium to large in size dog. So anyway, hopefully someday I will adopt a dog. So anyway, the witness. Now this is strange. In real life, an African-American guy was mumbling something to me earlier this week. I couldn't understand him. Well, he appeared in my dreams. Sometimes it is the other way around. I have a dream and then the person shows up in real life. In this dream, I was walking around during the day in my PJs. I didn't seem to care that I was doing this, nor did I recognize the area. Some years ago, I did have another dream of me walking around in an apartment complex in my pink PJs, but I was younger. Then I witnessed something and kind of strange. I was somewhere and was looking into another room with a window. There was a slightly older man and woman in the room, but in a dark corner closet, someone had a large flashlight that was moving around in the closet. The couple seems to be unaware of this happening, like it was happening in a different dimension. The Twilight Zone. Later, these same people came to me because they were concerned about what happened in the closet, but I assured them that it wasn't about them, and they left. Then this African-American guy was standing outside my door, which had an upper window. He looked angry and mean, and he started messing with my door. Somehow, he got inside the room with me and standing next to me. I didn't feel threatened anymore, but felt like I should write in my journal what I witnessed about the closet, but when I started to write, it was gibberish. This is weird. I don't even remember this at all. I remember the dream about walking around in my pink PJs. That took place in the Pacific Northwest. And so the next one is verbally attacking. Two dreams. One young woman seems to be verbally attacking everyone around her in a small town. She isn't physically attacking anyone, and then later she is partying with some friends and having a really good time. Fell back asleep. Then this woman, it may be the same woman from previous dream. Two women are sitting across from each other, and I see a form already filled out. It doesn't look like a lease. I can see my brother's name somewhere on the form typed in. Later I see one of the woman at her place, which is possibly a timeshare or studio apartment. In real life, my brother is in the process of selling his house, so maybe this woman is a potential buyer. Caught them red-handed. Okay, so the next dream is going to be stillborn. Okay, stillborn. I don't remember much of this dream. I think there were some stillborn kittens. I have been watching the website Hope for Paws, so maybe that is why I had dreams of kittens. And the next one is foreign women. A woman is catching a bus early in the morning, and she is standing at a bus shelter. There are two early buses. Early buses. The first one started at 5:38 a.m. Then she's looking at liquid lemonade that she made in a pitcher. She notices that some dirt is floating in it. Then when she looks again, and looks like someone threw a unused rubber in there. Then another time it looks like wig-shaped hair from a very small doll. Eck! I've been taking several medical tests, so maybe it's some specimen that was tested. I don't remember this from. This is nasty. Then the woman, or even me, is in a room with an older foreign woman, possibly the woman's mom, not sure. Anyway, the woman was talking, and the foreign woman wasn't in a talkative mood at all. And later had some craft group or some other group she attended. I see several other foreign husky women sitting around a table in a circle. Also, so I remember these women. I think they were for like Russian, big bone women. But I don't know why I would be having dreams about them, because I wasn't in Russia. I was in the United States. So anyway, also the woman is in contact with her youngest brother, and it seems she just returned from a trip. This is kind of like the woman looked like, but older. Yeah, possibly. Also, after talking to a man on the phone regarding transportation to a medical appointment. After the conversation, I heard the word lie. Then I remember a vision of a woman with Palmolive dish soap hands was swearing under oath. I could see only the woman's hands and not her face. Oh, that's weird. The pet sitter. A woman is at an airport. I can see her passing a couple as she is leaving. On the way home, she needs to pick up a lot of items at the small pet store. Okay, including litter for her cat. I remember this. When she gets to her place, my aunt and cousin Em are there. An emergency occurred. I think a man from the fire department is there. She mentioned she just got back from a trip and she had a dog and a cat. Then she goes over to one of her neighbors who were watching her pets, and she sees her orange tabby cat outside running toward her. So, yeah, I remember this dream. I don't know if it was me or another woman. And the area is not familiar to me. I just remembered that the pet store, it wasn't like a large chain, but it was close to where she lived. Okay, so the next dream is going to be Babel. I woke to hearing two African women arguing. Don't remember what they were arguing about. I just remember dreaming or waking up hearing people outside my building, which can get kind of loud on any given night. When I was trying to get back asleep, I remember an African American man kind of talking to me in my ear. I couldn't understand what he was saying to me. Maybe it was the same guy from earlier this month. Anyway, I moved away from the wall and told him to shut up so I could get back to sleep. Anyway, I had a dream about one of my male childhood friends. We have moved around when we were younger, but now it seems we are supposed to settle down. Okay, ladybugs is the next dream. Again, something was bothering me again last night, but didn't last long and fell asleep. In the beginning of this dream, a woman is walking to the next town by herself. The area reminds me of Miley Cyrus video, just a road and green pasture, but no hills. I remember this dream. So when she gets to the next town, she stops at a gas station or a convenience store and asks a woman the name of the town. They tell her Norwich, which when I looked it up is in England. Wasn't there a Norwich or something in Connecticut or out east too? Oh, and Vermont, there it is. She went in the wrong direction. A couple of women working there offer her a volunteer opportunity to design something. One of the women has a tablet, and there are 3 cursor ladybugs of various colors. These ladybugs start to magically design the page by itself. They want to know if she plans to finish the project. She also is supposed to see an older man, possibly a doctor, who is willing to help her. Then she is walking back home. She seems to start off with a man and his 2 daughters, but they seem to have gone on different paths together, which concerns the woman because she wants to make sure they all get home to his wife. Anyway, this time she is walking off the path, but knows where road is located. Plus, she's surrounded by trees also. And this has nothing to do with this dream, but there's a room full of rambunctious men sitting on couches. It may be a community room in a building or shelter, but I'm thinking a building because there is an incident with a neighbor where law enforcement has shown up. I don't know what that's about. Okay, so former friends, this is the last one for August 2019. I have to get this in here. I don't remember my dreams, but when I woke, I was thinking about my friend beginning with the letter J and possibly his Native American girlfriend. Okay, I know who that is. I also was thinking about an old neighbor friend of mine from about 20 years ago. I tried to visit her many years ago, but she wasn't feeling well. And then I found out recently that she is deceased. Some of my family members, myself and his friend and her granddaughter took a trip to Mount Rainier many years ago. Yes. Okay, so that is the end of this this podcast. So a couple dreams of July 2018, and the rest of it is August 2018.